January 4th, 2025. Last night on the 3rd, I went through Hartville McDonald's where I did the last statement of where I was followed and rented. And Dave insisted I go that way. Okay, and the Perry police said, I know he's up to something. I can't prove it. He said he would have rolled you if you wouldn't have had your foot on the brake the way he clipped you, and he was doing over 45. He would have rolled you. I can't let you go home alone. Either that day or within a few days, I go over to Danny and Jen's. Kaylee's there. And she said, what do you know about Savannah? I said, Savannah? I know of her, but I don't know her. What do you mean you don't know her? I said, why would I? She's a little 18-year-old kid that sits with her parents. I know of her, but I don't know her. Why would I? What do you mean you don't know her? I said, her parents went to that church a long time ago. They come visit. The other church, I knew of her, but I don't know her. Never had trouble with her parents before. What are you talking about? She's like, what do you mean you don't know? Then she's like, well, you know, that little girl, that baby? Her baby daddy's really big in drugs. What does that have to do with anything? 6 months before the case started. She looked at me like I was stupid. Okay? Well, then you go to April 28th, 24. In Walmart on the Strip. I told you about that. It was like a hotbed of, oh my God. I walk in. Some guy is on the phone. I listen to the recorded line. And where that agent admitted he told on me for calling the hotline before he listed me informant, makes fun of me. The guy said, I listened to the recorded line. That agent did admit to telling on her. And he did say those things to her. They better take care of this, okay? I walk over to the canned veggie aisle. Officer in uniform shows up. Karen, I've been listening to this today. The police watch me. There's a real case where that agent opened it. Protective custody case with statements, threat of life for an FBI informant with a judge's order for protection. They have to document everything every day. They told these people they're messing with the wrong person. The police watch her. Okay? All right. All right. So, that officer in uniform shows up. Karen, I've been listening to this today. We all know nobody drugs anybody. It's a drug cartel. We all know it was a drug cartel in your home before. We all know that guy told on you before. We know how he heard it. And where the Stark County sheriffs made fun of some guy named Kurt for falling for Melissa's mean games of pretend. Where I called the FBI, all those people showed up on everyone around. You know what is something? My ex talked to that agent up at that church. Okay? Told people he talked to them. All these people show up. He didn't think they were cops. He wasn't a bright man. He really wasn't. He never put two and two together. Okay. So, where the Stark County sheriffs made fun of this guy Kurt. In May of 21, I had went out of state and they sold a login and they send it across people's phone. And I can go into other states and they'll mention the case. I'm in a gas station in Pennsylvania where's Mel's got caught telling their kids to lie. Okay? And on Thanksgiving of 18, a legally bugged house, that they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Pupple. Grandma needed to get out. Then later on to my other granddaughter, Flora. They were games of pretend they made up and were laughing about it. They're documenting me games of pretend. Okay? And the police even showed up at Walmart. Why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. 18, honey. All right. Then they showed up and how stupid she was, making it up in front of them. And they said, well, we'll write it up that she was showing off for the new girlfriend, her and the kids. And that they're documenting me jokes. Okay? They sold a login. They have a video of them saying they made everything up laughing. Like Flora said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. There are games of pretend. I spanked him. Okay. They're documenting me jokes. They have John defending me later that she's only going to have to make it up because of the divorce. You're going to be moving out, but nobody could say anything bad about you, Mom. But she'll have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it, Mom. Nobody will ever say anything bad about you. No one ever could. Dave defended me, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids, you never hurt anyone, you're good to everyone, no matter who it is. To Danny and John not knowing anything about buying cameras, a shower scene. They knew I had bruises, throwing up, almost passing out, but they didn't know somebody was drug and beating me, let alone raping me. That would have made them an accessory. Okay? To Josh, I've never done anything bad or wrong. Never said you did. Had all my family defending me. Kids, I've never done anything bad or wrong. That's the truth. Always been good to you, yes. Matter of fact, the cops told me that they told them that I was the sweetest grandma ever and the best grandma ever. They were little. I spoiled them like crazy. They're only little ones. I didn't have a lot growing up, so. All right. So I go out of town in May of 21. I'm in Pennsylvania. They're like, oh my goodness, Kurt found out all those kids were lying. He's going to kill her. I'm like, Kurt's slow. They said they were lying on Thanksgiving of 18. What on earth? Now, I know the police watch me. We've been through hell together of stalkers being chased off, everything. Them surrounding me in a store, almost football attacking me, chasing other people off. Okay? So I went and sat outside the Stark County Sheriff's, and at times I'll yell out something or come out and say something. Okay? I don't feel so alone through all this hell. I went and I sat outside there, and it's like, well, if Kurt just found out those kids were lying, he's slow, right? 2 sheriffs walk out in uniform, bust out laughing. If Kurt just found out all those kids were lying, he's slow. Sheriffs call him slow. Okay? Well, he tells everybody to stay out of it. So there's some guy in April 28th, 24. Okay? He's talking to me. He said, Kurt, no, this is funny. They have that agent on a recorded line stating that he told on her. Okay? They also have these people taped and recorded that they made everything up on her. They drugged her and told her to say it before, and they photoshopped everything. They have her whole family defending her, and they didn't know anything of this. None of this is funny. Everybody needs to stay out of it. Then Pam with her granddaughter. Now, her granddaughter should not even know Dave. She was a tiny baby and 19 when he went down back to Strange's church. Huh? She called him Uncle Dave. She shouldn't even know him. She called him Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave said he had someone taper before. Oh, they'll verify it. We walk out, investigators bust out laughing. Took her long enough to confess. She was in it with Dave and those stocking tapes. Her family was already linked to that following him Randy, because it was her daughter. Facebook friend. Because where Kaylee told me, did you know about Savannah? Well, I went home and looked her up. The guy that followed her around at me was her Facebook friend. I thought, what the hell does she have to do with this? I don't even think I've ever even said hello to her. Little 18-year-old kid. Dave's 60. The only reason I knew her name is people talk bad about her at that church, that she had got messed up with drugs, had some drug dealer's baby. Her parents were trying to get her back in church to straighten up her life. I didn't say anything about her because I didn't know her, but I heard people talk. They didn't talk very nice about her. And that's the only reason I knew her name. And I only knew her oldest name because people in the apostolic churches are mean. People stopped telling people what they were going to name their children because people would make fun of them and bullying them to name somebody something else. So people stopped telling them. And then they tell you they didn't like your name you picked out for your baby. Like it's any of their damn business. Well, she named her oldest one Jacqueline after her father, Jack. Okay? And they would mocked her for it. It's none of their business. Well, I had only heard of Savannah because people talked about her being messed up in drugs. I don't know her other three. I think maybe one's named Austin. I don't know. I don't know her, even all of her kids' names. They only came visiting. They left right after their wedding because Strange insulted Jack's sister over the pulpit. He was cruel. And they left. They come visit every once in a while. I knew she had children. I knew of the first one's name because people were being arrogant. And I only heard of that other girl because people talked bad about her. See what I mean? Do you see what I mean? I didn't know her. I don't even think I ever said hello to her. Now, I want you to think about it. Now, she's an RN nurse. She makes over $100,000 a year. Been one for 20 years, 30 years. Her husband of 30 plus years before they got a divorce made over 150 grand. The upper class people make 300 grand a year. The kind of people that, take a whole group of family and extended family, spend several weeks on Disney World, at least once a year. Can you afford that? Stay on there for a couple weeks? They could. Why? Because they were upper class people. Her father owned an electrical business. Her grandparents owned real estate. Realty companies. Not realty companies, but rental places. Great big places. So I want you to think about this. Money that came from money that makes money. Okay? So I want you to think about this. That's why those people left. If her family ever put their name on it, the police already taped them defending her and saying they didn't know anything about it. That means they were in it with Dave, trying to have her killed and cover it up the whole time. And then they already got him defending her and saying they didn't know anything about it. They would have to arrest them. Everybody's scattered because nobody's thinking with a rational thought. Illegal monitoring is a federal crime. You know, we were even watching a TV show, me and my boyfriend, NCIS. This guy put a tracker on this guy's car. He said illegal monitoring is a federal crime. You can't watch where people go. You can't be in their home either. It's a federal crime. It's extortion and cyberstalking. It's a 15-year sentence. Without the photo. And do I ever want to hear again in my life about some drug dealer named Pete, an old drug dealer from Ravenna, that my ex admitted he hired on his own, that him and his group photoshopped me washing in a shower. You washing yourself. Now, you can't tell me, like my friend Matt said, you have to wash yourself eventually or you'll have sores or you'll smell. Everybody washes their hiney. And to Photoshop something like that is morbid and satanic in another room. And they laughing at everybody that they fell for. They Photoshopped a washing scene. In another room, as a scam, they made fun of the FBI for falling for it, and drug confessions of date rape, amnesia drugs, lying they had sodium pentothal reports. And they were getting me so stoned up there. Like they said, when the case first started, Karen was so her ex-husband had her so drugged up. They were drug beating, raping her, and she wasn't realizing what was happening. Neither did the doctor. And they were treating all the signs of being drug beaten, raped. Massive amount of weight loss, giant bruises, muscle pain, severe swollen personal infection, migraine headache, throwing up, and almost passing out. And to find out sexual predators were drugging me up and telling me to say stuff, beat and rape me, and I have no memory of it. Only would wake up like that, or take a drink out of a drink, in a room and go dizzy and black hours later, and then all of a sudden, it's like, what on earth? And then you feel like you're going to pass out, you're throwing up. Got bruises on you. Personal area so swollen. The only thing new is you're showering in dirty well water, and I thought it was killing me. And to find out predators were harming me and playing with me like that, it's satanic. On evil levels you see in scary movies. Okay? Do I ever want to hear the word weird with yourself and it's a shower scene of washing your butt? And they already confessed, and they drive around laughing at people for falling for it. And they actually told people. We actually had her say it. Never said that she said anything wrong. That's how they put it. She's never said she did anything wrong. And she simply brushed off some water with clothes on, which is nothing. That's all they had. December 20th, 24, we're talking about it in Bob Evans. They said that she's actually never said she did anything wrong. I never talked to anybody. Never seen anybody. How would you like to wake up with bruises and not know what happened to you? I never talked to anybody. Never seen anybody for the FBI. You think it's funny playing with somebody? Morbid Satan bitches. These are people that you find in scary movies. Now, I want you to think about this. Them photoshopping a shower scene and washing in a drug scam from a drug dealer. They made fun of the FBI June 7th, 23, made fun of everybody November 18th, 22, June 24th to July 4th of 23. They went to a party or life of the party, how they made fools out of everybody for falling for this. Oh, they said they were driving around laughing at everybody and telling everybody they actually have nothing on her. She's never said she did anything wrong before. And they only had her simply wiping off water with clothes on, just brushing it off, which is nothing. That they photoshopped everything and drugged everything before. How many times have they told you that? Even more. Made fun of everyone. Made fun of me. They photoshopped all their lives. Raised some guy named Chris out of the room. You know, see, that's where April 28th, 24. I was staying out in North Canton. Some guy was outside that apartment that night. Could hear him talking. Told that girl she's got caught and taped. That she knew of the tapes before. She better not be caught part of them. She will go to jail a long time. Some guy named Chris, I heard she doesn't even know who he is. And he was one of the main people hurting her. They need to realize how not funny this is. Well, last night, on January 3rd, 2025, I went through Hartville. And I had did this statement of even where that guy showed up after I went down to see my sister in 19. He showed up, the tall white guy with black hair, stalking my mom till her minister threatened him. They get the police after me, left town. I go through the drive-thru and some guys, like everybody listening and helping out with this day, nobody found it funny. That girl was telling people that she was mean to her and she's never even talked to her. And we heard how polite she was to her parents, and her parents were saying she was rude. It was her and her old boyfriend's drug friends and his drug connections helping out. And her friends, and people have went to jail for this, and people have died. None of this is funny. Savannah was seen under police surveillance January to March of 19 on a Sunday morning. Minerva Grinders, the Florida human traffickers, one of the old gentlemen's club, was sitting in there in a gray suit with a whitish blonde-haired lady talking about grabbing people and selling them and prostituting them the rest of their lives. The drug dealers that were breaking, they were harming me, were in the back, and she walked by and looked at me and stared at me. She was in the restaurant with them, clear down in Minerva Grinders. Now, I want you to think she's 18 days, 60. She didn't want Dave. But she found an idiot she could scam that she could play with his wife. You think Fatal Attraction scary? Think of a mentally psychotic, evil bitch that wants just to hurt somebody she's never even talked to. And her parents, do you know I talked to a retired CIA agent? Think about that. Her parents are that rich. They make about $300,000 a year when they were married together as a couple. It's the rich hurting the poor. The rich and the entitled, thinking they can just hurt people. They are supposed to be so religious, uncut hair and skirts, and they have people raped. They sell kiddie porn of little kids going potty. Sell people having drug dealers, drug beat and rape them, but they're so godly. They ain't a bit of God in them at all. I talked to a retired CIA agent. She said it's a good thing you reported when you found out that they were taping in the bathroom and children use that bathroom. You'd be considered an accessory to kiddie porn of little kids going potty. So Pam confessed she knew of those tapes. So she should be arrested for child pornography, right? By federal law. She confessed in front of the cops on April 28th, 24. She knew of Dave's tapes before. By federal law, she's to be arrested, right? For an accessory to kiddie porn. It's a law. Like they said, if her kids would have put their name on any of it, they would have been arrested. Having somebody drugged for fake confessions, racketeering, being raped, human trafficked. Sextortion is finding out personal information on somebody or taking naked pictures, photoshopped or not. And try to get them in trouble or extort money. Cyber stalking with the button cameras, illegal monitoring is a federal crime. Like they said on NCIS, you put a tracker even on somebody's car, it's illegal monitoring, it's a federal crime. You're not allowed to track where anybody goes. They had a copy of my phone, the drug dealers on the other side of the duplex, where I lived. and were outside mocking me. That's wiretapping. It's a federal crime. Like my one boss, his sister is a sitting judge in Ohio. These people can say they were in your home, but the day they prove it, the police are to arrest them. It's illegal for anybody to be in your home. It's illegal. And like the Youngstown police, they could never use or look or listen to him. It was illegal for them to be in their home. My boss went to him about the shower scene in the other room. His sister. And the drug confessions, they are to be arrested the first day they prove they were in your home. Illegal monitoring is a felony invasion of privacy. That church cannot, and because they got some girl messed up in drugs, and the drug cartel, have the drug cartel hurt someone they just choose to hurt. Like teenagers in North Canton. That church is selling the login and sending it out to people so they can show how big and bad they are and how they can harm people in front of people. Our parents said this is why you don't go to churches like that. They're cults. Or they wouldn't have opened their mouth to her and they would have never had anyone hurt her. You don't go to churches like that. It's not a church. It isn't a cult, a dangerous one. So, you do know the agent that opened my case. Do you realize where I went to Altman Family Physicians on the 2nd? Somebody outside my room was talking about the doctors from before, how they got caught lying big time when they documented that I had level 2 pituitary tumors and there was no evidence of it. None. He said they came to us. Some guy said he was getting even with her for telling the FBI was involved. Now, let me ask you this. Is he the other jackass that was on the recorder line mocking me for Pete's tapes, the drug dealer, the serial rapist, drug cartel, running the drug scam where Dave hired him on his own? The other one that was laughing at me, is that the jackass to cover it up? Because we all know, due to the freedom of speech, the FBI and the police can never ask you not to say anything. It takes a judge. You have a right. No one can tell you can't say anything. It's illegal. But a judge. Criminal attorney, police, prosecutor's office, he was only bullying me. You cannot withhold protection. It's 14th Amendment. It's illegal. Can't be in somebody's home. It's the 4th Amendment. And 5th and 6th, you have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. You have a right to privacy, and you have a right no one can just take your money or assets. You have to be sued and found guilty for it, and then sued for it on top of it. So, well, where do you think that agent, just being a higher police officer, would have the right to tell anybody? And then on top of it, you listen how he talked to me, how he met with the church people and that family, and he knew they were trying to kill me. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. And I'm trying to tell him how the guy threatened to knife me. He's calling me a liar. I try to tell him he tried to kidnap me before. And he's yelling at me, even if a church person seen him, they would never even back it. Well, Terry Coberly did. And he had met with that family in his office and all those church people. He admitted, he told on me for calling for help. And you either say you're lying or arrest you, I'll put you in jail. You hear me? It's like, fine, whatever, haha. Now I want you to say you're faking you're sick when it was medication error, medical malpractice almost killed me. Hmm? And it's like, look, I really was sick. No, I've met with that family in my office and all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. Well, that family was grieving. It's like, look, I really was sick before. You liar. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He's aiding and abetting conspiracy to commit murder. He is being a criminal and breaking the law on a recorded line. Hmm? Now you either say it or I'll leave you there. Don't let him kill me. Then say it, I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, whatever. Just don't let him kill me. Ha ha ha. Why would the FBI help a person like you? It's a sworn duty. And it's like, well, they've tried to kill me. So they're going to kill me. So the other agent yells out, the rapist's name, the drug dealer that's running the scam that I've never met. Well, we could always use a piece of paper word with yourself. The shower scene in the other room. They already confessed. They March 1st to 3rd of 21. They put clips together to make it a porn. It's not her, it's them. Then on March 13, 21, they told the nurse at Mercy Medical the only thing they had me on was simply brushing off water with clothes on. Uh, the guy said that sick said, no, it's actually funny. They didn't have anything else. She just simply wiped it off. Like the ladies group of January 22. We came down to verify. Karen's never said she did anything wrong before. When she simply wiped off the water with clothes on, she went straight down, didn't expose herself, as if anybody would ever care about that. And those people raped her. Just like December 20th, 24. They were driving around laughing at people again. Okay? That's all they had. Was just simply brushing something off. And they photoshopped everything, erased people out of the room, made everything up on me in a big drug scam. Now, do I want to hear about a drug scam from drug dealers and an occult that had them do it? No. Unless you say you arrested them for harming me, I don't want to hear it. That you're helping and invading drug dealers get away with stuff. Okay? You know that agent got fired over this, right? The one that opened my case that was mocking me, you know he got fired, right? He got fired. And when I told him, what are you talking about? Because it's photoshopped by a man I've never met. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. It says something else. It has to be one of the bruises, or where I took a drink and the room went dizzy and black. Or I woke up with an injection mark where they're lying. They had sodium pentothal reports and other date rape amnesia drugs. It's not funny playing with a human being like that. I've never met him. I said, what are you talking about? Stop. You don't know. I bet you don't know anything about a doctor selling your information. No doctor of yours could ever talk to anybody. They can't even testify against you in court. HIPAA violation, right to privacy. The only time a doctor can talk about you is they're a court-appointed doctor to evaluate you. For the courts, your own doctors cannot testify against you. It's a HIPAA violation. They're sworn to protect only you and to make sure only you are okay. They're to do no harm. It's like the attorney-client privileges. They can't talk about you. It's illegal. HIPAA, 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. You can sue them for $1.5 million. Give me a name. Well, I had some lady use my insurance for 15 years, found out she had 2 little girls, ran up all kinds of medical bills, got stuck with the copays. I thought maybe it was one of hers. No, it's just a scam. Like everything else. Just a scam. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? He starts laughing at me. Stop, she don't know. Well, they made a public fool out of him June 7th, 23. How he actually would fall for photoshopping, washing, and drug confessions. FBI agent John actually fell for that? You're kidding. He fell for the stunt of tapes before that were only a stunt? Is that what's going on? That FBI agent actually fell for that? Publicly mocked him. Saw videos of it to kids. You're a public fool nationwide. Because where they started saying stuff that never happened, it's like, well, that sounds like showering. Touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird, but not weird. What are you doing? Sounds like you got undressed, got the shower, and you're washing yourself. Because you have to wash yourself. If you don't get the toilet paper off you that's left there, the crumbs, or anything else that would be there. You have to wash your hiney or you'll smell like a wet diaper. Everybody washes themselves, and don't say that you don't. Huh? You soap up your butt and your front and you're everywhere else when you get clean. Everybody washes themselves, and to Photoshop something like that is asinine and stupid. Some construction workers said, it's almost like a mean teenage stunt that went too far. Photoshopping that shower scene, roofing drinks and telling her to say stuff, but they were beating her and raping her. It went too far when they set up the cameras. Illegal monitoring is federal crimes. And to set them up in the bathroom and to do this, it shows how evil Savannah is. How morbid she is. She never wanted Dave. She was 18, he's 60. She found some pawn that he could actually give up his wife that she could play with him because she's pure Satan. You think Fatal Attraction movie where the guy has an affair with a married man? A married man had with some woman he just met. Starts stalking the wife, playing with her car, leave dead animals on their front porch, kidnaps their kid, then tries to kill both of them? Look in the mirror, Savannah. See, that's where even that agent, when I told him that I had never even had my neighbors in my home, is that what's going on? Asked me if I knew if Dave had a girlfriend. I said, well, I think he's cheating, but I never caught him. He asked with the other guy. She said she never caught him. Well, no, and Dave admitted it December 9th, 18. I never caught him, and I taped him. Oh, I put that one up on Facebook. Never caught him. So why is that funny? Made me beg for my life? Now, what has he confessed? He's told on me. He knows of a hired hitman that's harming me and running a scam on me. On a recorded line, he confessed to all of this. Mocks me. And that he's aiding and abetting conspiracy to commit murder. On a recorded line. Opens an informant case with money immunity, then threatens me if I tell. For one thing, like the criminal attorney, prosecutor's office in place due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you. Agents are only higher police officers. They can't ask you to stay quiet at all. It's illegal for them to. And he can't withhold protection either. It's the 14th Amendment. He was only bullying you. No one can be in your home but protected like cases with statements and a court order. Not even the FBI. It's illegal to look and listen. He can't even ask you to stay quiet. It takes a judge due to the freedom of speech. Money's for working the case and only for working the case. And you don't have authority. Now, you got to think. That's Savannah telling him I was mean to her? I never even spoke to her. Then you got to think. He came in and confessed December 18th, 24, Walmart 62, that young underage prostitute that was claiming she was Michelle at Faith Family Church, that she told him I threatened her. I had never laid my eyes on her until that church, and I still never talked to her because I didn't believe my ex-husband at 60 was cheating with a 14 to 16-year-old prostitute. And what were you caring so much about a 14, 16-year-old prostitute? You do know after he opened my case, within a few weeks, Dave's threatening Dixie and the baby's life. And I Googled the office to make sure he's real. Found him. Called him again, and when I seen one of the killers down the road, they said, tell the police to get a hold of it. We're busy. A serial killer's down the road, and he's taking off through the side woods, but they're a little busy. I was a little busy myself. I called back down. He's no longer with FBI. Do you know one of the comments she made? Nobody thought it was funny how he said he was taking care of you. He's no longer with us, and we're sorry. He got fired. So where that guy said some guy was getting even with her for saying the FBI was involved, well, Agent John admitted on a recorded line he told on me, met with everyone. So are you the other asshole that was mocking me for all this? It's illegal for law enforcement to get even with you, let alone what is there to get even with? Your agent already confessed. He told on me and made fun of me, and he was helping the criminals on a recorded line. So we need to all stop acting stupid. Now, my card where he said he opened the card with the money on it, it's either sitting in the FBI Drug and Task Force in the Canton Courthouse in my file, or that agent, when he got fired, slipped it in his pocket. Where Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin, if he stole your money, then he stole others. They go back through his cases. He stole a lot of money from the government, where they said, we'll sell the login for $25 a pop. The agent that got fired selling the login to the case. He's the one coming across the police scanners. No one's to believe her, no one's to help her. 14th Amendment, that's illegal. Can't tell anybody. And then he's not even an agent, he got fired. You want to play? So the other jackass that said he's getting even with me, he's the other one mocking me for hate. They didn't get fired yet. You do realize they both knew he told on me. And were laughing at me for all this. Officer John or Officer Mark, we go down to the Drug and Task Force, look up tell them, look up her original case, the informant case. What was the agent's name that opened it? Record a line he confesses he told on her. Makes fun of her. Listen to it. The money card from the case for working it, if it's not there, he put it in his pocket. He's the one selling the government technology. He confessed he did it for an underage prostitute that she's never met. Said that she had threatened her, and she still never talked to her. Showed up at Faith Family Church. We witnessed. Karen didn't even believe her. She was dating Dave. I never even talked to her. And that Savannah telling people, Karen's probably never even talked to her either, because I don't even remember saying hello. Could have said hello if they said, hey, this is it. Just look over and say hello and look back. I don't even think I did that. Can't be mean to someone you never talked to. Didn't even know her. And let them know it's Savannah and her boyfriend, the baby daddy, having the drug cartel do this. And she was seen with the human traffickers under police surveillance with that quarter. And you got the agent that got fired, confessing he did it for a prostitute that said I threatened her, and I didn't even know who she was, and I still never talked to her. You need to have a long talk with him, and he's the one selling the government technology. He's a threat. Coming across police scanners, telling people not to believe me and help me. He's not even an agent. He got fired for misconduct. Need to have a long talk with him about what's going on. Get a hold of the U.S. Marshals. Have them go pull it if you don't feel comfortable. Someone needs to let the FBI know what's going on with that agent that got fired. They have his confession. He's in it with the drug dealers making bets over me. Where I told that drug dealer that's betting that she wouldn't have, after what he had done to her, she'd never find anyone. I told him leave her alone. I found out Karen's getting remarried. I knew she had it in her. She really never knew who Michelle was till January to March of January to February 19. No, till she showed up and announced herself. She didn't know who she was. I made sure of it. She told me she threatened her. If she was going to threaten her, I told them I didn't care what they did to her. That's what the agent that told on me said to Apostolic Church of Barberton. If he didn't care if I was being drug beaten, raped, because the strangest baby lie called me a faker, 15 years lie when he made it up before that. It was 15 years before. Didn't even go to their church. Hmm? When Linda was following Tim and Katie and they thought it was me and make up a lie to get rid of me. Call me a faker when he knew it was a medication error, medical malpractice. Dave told him. But he needed to get rid of me real quick. And that was November of 2003 when he made up that lie. 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. And it's satanic. They use their family's tragedy to try to help kill people. He knew they were drug beating, raping me, and didn't care. If she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well, it was a medication error. Medical malpractice almost killed me. And if she was going to be mean to women, he didn't care what they did to her. He was going to turn her back over to him. Can you imagine an agent saying that? The guy confessed he did it for that underage prostitute lying to him. And he's in it with the drug dealers making bets over me, the one that got fired. He confessed. December 1824, Walmart 62. He'll walk in and confess real loud. He's the one selling the government technology. What else can he sell? And if my card with my money's not in there, he took it. And if it is in there, please go get it. Have one of my guys bring it to me. Okay? But it's him. And he's in it with the drug cartel. A former agent confessing. What's that mean to anybody? Never even laid. I didn't even believe she was dating Dave. My God, I turned around. Well, I'm sitting in church and a bunch of teenagers came in. It's getting ready to start and they're loud, so you look back. And then all of a sudden, this girl went, I'm the one that dates Dave. So I look back and they're calling her Michelle. And she points at me and said, I'm the one that dates her husband. I'm like, it's you. You don't even look 18 years old. You don't look 100 pounds. Look back, you even look like you're homeless. Your pants are too small. They're out of style. Your shoes look wore out. Your top looks skanky. You look like an underage prostitute. I thought it was Michelle Calco. What do you mean he's dating her? And she's saying how she can have anybody drug beat and rape. She just have to ask the guys. Oh, I'll tell you another thing. I heard her tell those girls she spent some night at some boys' house. She had one of the guys' clothes on. That's why they were too small. She looked like a homeless prostitute. Did I believe her? That she was dating Dave? Like the cop said, we watched Karen's face. She didn't believe a word out of that girl's mouth. No, I didn't. Found out she told people she was Agent Will's daughter. Then she was retired Judge Pete's daughter. And then outside of church, she told people she was Governor Mike DeWine's daughter. The bitch couldn't quit lying. I just sat there thinking, God, if it's you, he's never touching me again. You don't even look 18. Where the cop said, are they trying to set her husband up for dating an underage prostitute? She don't look 15. She looks what, 15 to 16? I thought, well, yeah. Huh? One cop said I would have pegged her at 14. Oh, yeah? She looked about 85, 90 pounds? And she looked homeless. My ex-husband made me dress pristine. I looked dressed in business wear almost at home. Had a black skirt on, a blue skirt on, or a jean skirt. Flats, heels, or boots. Had a tank top with a cardigan. Most of the time, that matched. I could have went and worked in an office in my everyday clothes for when we went out. I looked pristine when I left. And when I went out with him, I had business dresses on. Hair in a bun or curled. So do I believe somebody that's sitting in too small clothes and he looks homeless? If she was really dating him, he would have bought her clothes. see what I mean. That's where I didn't even believe a word that was coming out of her mouth. I still never talked to her. Like I said, I don't even think I've even said hello to Savannah. And her parents, you see them, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. How's your kids? How are your grandkids? Same back to me. And that's it. They made over $300,000 in a home or close thereof over 30 years. Came from money. The wealthy thinking they can extort money from the poor and harm the poor people because they're wealthy. It's sick and it's satanic. And by federal law, you say you were in my home before, like my boss's sister that's a judge. The police are to arrest him the first day they prove it. Like the people even said, anybody says they were in her home before, we all know they take those kids going potty. They're all going to get listed child molesters, human traffickers. See, that's where with the kiddie porn, with her acknowledging, she knew of them. She needs, by federal law, to be arrested. And she should not be allowed around children again. She's exploiting children. She's exploiting women and having the cartel drug, beat, and rape them and human traffic them. Those are federal crimes. So is racketeering of drug confessions, sextortion of photoshopping and washing, defrauding an FBI agent. Running scams on people. What they have done is evil and heinous. I'm going to upload this. Officer John or Mark, if you would please go down to the FBI Drug and Task Force in the Stark County Courthouse. Have him pull my file of the original guy that got his confession. They need to get him. He's selling government technology. He admits in it with the drug dealers. And he did all this for an underage prostitute that would lie to him. And he stole my money. And they need to get that other guy that was mocking me and helping, aiding and abetting this, and how he admitted he told on me before. Yeah. Please take care of this. Or one of the Stark County sheriffs. Go to the marshals, they'll get him. They have no problem arresting these people.